Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over some emulators for your computer. We will be covering the Nintendo Wii and GameCube, PlayStation 2, and Xbox 360. I will go over how to optimize all the settings, play in high definition, and enable advanced settings. Let's go. Alright, so let's start off with the Dolphin emulator. This will cover the Nintendo GameCube and Wii. So if you head on over to dolphin-emu.org, today I will be demoing this on my Windows machine, but if you have a Mac or Linux box, this will work as well. So today let's go over here and download. We're going to get the latest version. We will save that to our downloads. Once that's done, we will go ahead and over to our downloads, right click, extract all, and extract. So in order for us to get the best quality for our game, there is a cool forums on the Dolphin website. They have an area for hacks and game patches. Today we're going to focus on the texture projects. So they have a bunch of different games. And today we're going to demo Zelda Wind Waker, but there are plenty of other games with texture packs. We're going to go over here. Here's the one I chose. We're going to download the full size. Go to download, download anyway. And we will save that to our downloads. All right, the download has finished. So if we go over to our downloads, and again, just like before, right click, extract all, and extract. All right, now that we have our Dolphin program downloaded, our HD textures ready to go, I went ahead and I downloaded Zelda Wind Waker, the ROM. And I can't tell you how to get these, but if you do a quick Google search, you will find out. So let's go ahead and open up Dolphin. We're going to want to open up dolphin.exe. Now, Zelda is already in here. So what I like to do is I like to house all of my ROMs in a central location. So what you want to do is go over to Options, Configuration, go over to Paths. And what I did is I selected Downloads and do Search Subfolders. And that populated our Zelda game here. Now, the next thing you want to do is configure your controllers. So for me, I use a PS5 controller via Bluetooth, but you can use any controller you like. It does support quite a few. Now, the next part, we're going to want to import our HD texture packs. So if you go over here to File, Open User Folder, we're going to go over to Load, Textures, and if we go back to our downloads, to our texture pack, if we go inside of that, this is the file here. You're going to want to copy that over, and this includes all of our texture packs for the Zelda game. Now, after this, you're going to want to go over to graphics, and here is where kind of the meat and potatoes are for making the game look the best it can. So under adapter, you might have more than one graphics card. For me, I have, this is my dedicated graphics card here, and this is my, this is my onboard graphics card, and this is my dedicated card. So make sure that you select the best card you have. Now we're going to want to go over to enhancements. Now by default, these are different, but what I have done is I selected 1440p for my internal resolution, and I bumped all of these up to 8 and 8. Now again, these are completely going to be different for you, so you want to play around with, starting off maybe with 1080p and then starting off with 2 or 4. Play around with those. The game will glitch if you do not have a powerful enough system. So once you get those set and you've tested them out, we want to go over to Advanced and just make sure that Load Custom Textures is checked, and that will load our settings. And once we're done, we got our graphics configured, our controller configured, our ROM is set. Double click on it, and you're good to go. All right, let's go on to number 2, which is our PS2 emulator called PCSX2. So this is available on Windows, Mac, and Linux as well. So I went ahead and just did the download here. You want to make sure you download that and extract all the files. The second part you need is the PS2 BIOS file. So if you head on over here, download that. And then for our demo of the day, we're going to do God of War. I went ahead and pre-downloaded an HD texture pack. Now, once you have all the files downloaded, you want to go into your main file here. We want to load the Qt.exe. Now, I already have my game in here, so I went ahead and downloaded the ROM from the internet. I put it on my desktop, and I just went to System, Settings, Game List, and then you can add where your files are, and that auto-populated that on my desktop. Now, the other thing you need to do is go into BIOS, and with that file you downloaded, you want to browse to where you stored it, and then you'll want to make sure you select the latest version. That should populate there. Now, under graphics, here you'll have a bunch of different options. These are the global settings. So one thing I would make sure you do is go under rendering. So the internal resolution is going to be the main setting. You're going to want to just try different settings. But for me, I'll do the 1440p again, and then I'll leave these default. You want to make sure that load textures is checked, and then specify the path of the texture pack for God of War that we did. So we'll go to close. Now on your game specific, if you click on it, go to properties, here is where we'll set God of War specific settings. So we'll want to go over to graphics on here, and under adapter, again, just make sure that you select your dedicated card. This is my internal one, not as powerful as my dedicated graphics card here. Once that is set, you can go under texture replacement. Make sure load textures is checked. I believe this is unchecked by default. And then under rendering, again, these are settings based on your system. Just play around with all of these. Go higher, go lower if the game is glitchy or not playable. Exit out, and then just go back down one. Once those are all set, double click on your game and enjoy. All right, let's move on to our last but not least, Xenia Manager. This is our emulator for Xbox 360. So if you head over to the website, click on latest release, scroll down to the zip file, download that. Once downloaded, extract that. And for the demo for today, I have Gears of War. So once you extract it, open it up, open the desktop app. Now I've already imported the game, but if you have a game, just click on the plus arrow, browse to the game. That should populate here. Now, one thing you need to do is when you go to settings, the first thing that'll pop up if you install it will be this. You'll want to install the Canary version. The mouse hook is good if you want mouse support, and the net play is if you'd like to play online with friends. Once Canary is installed, go over to settings. Now, under here, you'll have two different options. The Canary is the settings that will be set for all of your games. I don't recommend that. I'd recommend going into each individual game and customizing it how you like. Now, one thing that is really nice, if you click on your game and if you click on the cloud icon here, this will actually go out to the internet and get all the optimized settings for the game. Click on OK. Now, if we scroll down, you'll have a bunch of different audio settings, video settings. So what I'd recommend is set your resolution to the highest it can go and scroll down a little more. Now we'll have different graphics APIs here. I do recommend switching to DirectX or Vulkan, and there are different options for both. So go ahead and play around with those. And another nice option is if you go to Home and if you right click on your game and you go to Patches, you can go to Manage Patches or Update. I went ahead and downloaded a patch which allowed me to enable 60 frames per second, all these different shader fixes and motion blurs. So definitely go ahead and do that. So if you go under Xenia settings for your controller, if you scroll down, you'll have user input. Here I've left this to any, and I had my PS5 controller synced up via Bluetooth and everything worked fine. So once you're ready to go back to home. So we have our patches installed, we have everything upscaled. Just double click on the game. And here we go. Well, that's it for today, everybody. I'd like to thank you for coming. Please like, share, and subscribe, and please comment on future videos that you would like to see. See you next time.